Welcome to B&B Movie Reviews. This week we have two couples that invite each other to swap partners, and single people have one night only to hook up.
We have yet another biopic to review, and dinosaurs invade a quaint suburban neighborhood in the 1980s. Stay right there, B&B is up next.
Still a good time?
Yes, yeah.
Are you sure we are not interrupting something?
No, it's great. Good. If it's good for you,
Yes?
it's great for us.
Okay.
Yeah, we love. Yep.
It took you a while to come to the door,
No, da igual.
and it sounded like you were arguing.
No filter.
No, I just want to be honest. We were at the door before we rang, and we could hear you were fighting.
Oh, we were talking.
We were fighting.
We were fighting. Yeah.
Bit of a contentious environment in here, so I understand if that's repellent to you. No hard feelings, you know what I mean? Completely understand, you know?
We love a contentious environment. We love it.
When Joe and Angela invite their neighbors over for a dinner party, an unexpected proposition takes the night into a completely different direction in the latest A24 dramedy directed by Olivia Wilde, The Invite. Brad, all right, The Invite.
Yes.
So this is a movie I've been wanting to review. I was telling you about it. I saw this movie. I absolutely, well, I guess I'm burying the lead. Love this movie. It's one of my favorites. I'll just say it's one of my favorites of the year. This is a movie that really just, I love this setup and this premise, the idea of, you know, I always talk about movies that kind of play like stage plays.
Yeah.
Everything that's kind of set in one location.
And
you have
it's
just a group of
difficult
actors.
to pull off because sometimes it feels like I'm watching a play from the front row.
Yes.
Why should I be watching this thing?
Yes, exactly. But the great thing and the brilliance that I love about this, especially with Olivia Wilde, and I had mentioned this to you, and I don't know if you feel the same way, but how it takes place literally in just an apartment, but how she shoots this to really make it feel cinematic.
Yeah. I think she uses all the tools of this medium to tell a very effective story.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel staged.
Mm.
It's actually quite alive from the jump. You
Yeah.
know, when we see Seth Rogen walk into the apartment,
Yeah.
bad back, he's got this foldable bike that he doesn't want to fold and she wants him to fold it. Like
Yeah.
immediately, you know the tensions between these two.
Yeah.
And then in that opening sequence, it just ratchets. And then boom, title card. It's one of the best title cards that I've seen all year.
Yeah, I really like that a lot too. But yeah, that setup is really good to let you know what you're about to get into with these two couples, especially like seeing where his marriage is in that point in their life. They have a child that's away for the night or the weekend. I can't remember exactly, but you know they kind of have a bit of a contentious
Not
marriage.
kind of. They hate each other, and it's clear within that opening scene that they have built up so much resentment towards each other that it's eating their marriage alive.
Okay, I didn't get the sense that they actually hated each other.
I think I think they hate I think they hate themselves. And that self-loathing is becoming a projection and is ruining their marriage. And I think they are well on their way to hating each other.
Yeah, I agree. And then when we get all of that, in comes Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz, who they invite over for a dinner party. And I don't know if they're new neighbors, but they live, I think,
Well, they've been there for a few weeks because they've been making a lot of noise. They live upstairs, and you can hear them going at it all night long, and that's been driving
them
Seth
crazy.
Rogen crazy.
Yeah.
It's been driving Olivia Wilde crazy, but in a different way.
In a different way. Yeah. So they come over for a dinner party, and we learn a little bit more about Penelope Cruz and Edward Norton and the fact that they have a bit an open relationship, and they proposition Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde.
What I like about that, though, is that invitation comes pretty late into the movie, right?
Yes.
Even though I think everyone buying a ticket to the invite knows what the invite is. We're waiting for that shoe to drop, but we wait so long that I actually started to think, oh, maybe this isn't
what
I think
what
it
I actually
is.
think it is. Yeah.
And then when it was that thing, I was a little disappointed. But then what they do with that, man.
Yeah, and Seth Rogen, I got to give him a shout out. I love Seth Rogen and everything that he does. But when that is revealed, it's almost like Seth Rogen is our eye line as far as like how he reacts, like his deadpan reactions. I think is some of the funniest moments in this movie.
He definitely asks the question that I would ask. You mean me?
Me?
You want me to be part of this thing?
I
understand why you might want my wife. But you want me in this invitation?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Extremely relatable.
It's great. But then the movie takes a turn. So I think the comedy in this works as well. But we get to like around the third act, and there's a bit of a shift where we get into more of the dramatic, where we actually dive deeper into some of the dealings as far as their relationship.
Well, we start to explore the pain of these characters, right?
Yeah.
And what I liked is how when we started exploring their self-loathing, which I knew the movie was going to do.
Yeah.
We also then do turn the inner lens on the other characters as well,
which I like as well.
More Edward Norton than Penelope Cruz.
Yeah.
But it's a well-rounded story.
Yeah, but I do like where the turn comes in the dramatic part of it in the third act, and really, like you were saying, focusing in on the pain specifically with Olivia Wilde and Seth Rogen. And to me, it really feels like, as far as like, we always talk about being in a relationship and the choices that you have, and they have to make a choice to be happy with each other. And I like the fact that they are working to make that choice.
Well, maybe they are. I think you're an incredibly optimistic person.
At times.
And I think you reach the ending of this movie and you're like, they might make it.
Yeah.
I reach the ending of this movie and I go, I don't think so.
Oh, Brad, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. But I love that, though.
But I like the conversation that does create, because
Yeah.
I watched it with my wife, Lisa, and that's what we talked about at the end of this film.
Nice.
I think where the movie ends, it gives them a place where they can possibly self-heal.
Yeah.
But is that self-healing enough to solidify their marriage?
Yeah.
Rekindle, the attraction between each other? Some really hard things are said in this movie.
Yeah.
And if I was in that conversation, I don't know if I could walk away from those hard things.
Yeah, you're right. What's your rating for this one?
Well, we're the B&B show.
Yes.
We like something, we give it a B+. We
Yep.
don't like something, we give it a B-.
Yeah.
I think you have to go see The Invite, whether you see it at home or you see it in the theater. I think you got to go see it. And if you're in a relationship, you definitely need to bring your partner and talk some things out.
Yeah. You might want to work through some of those issues. This movie might help you with that. It's a B+ for me as well. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. I love the setup, the stage play aspect of it. All one location. I think Olivia Wilde does a great job directing this movie. So highly, highly recommend this movie. So yeah, B+ for me. All right. So when we come back, we take a look at a bit of a dystopian future in the romantic comedy. Yeah, stay right there. We'll explain.
After rent and power, I can get groceries. It's sad to say food comes last. Anna from Texas. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Oh my God, this is the best pizza I've ever had. Truly. I think it's better than sex.
No, come on.
I mean it. But I honestly don't remember.
What's your favorite part?
The cheese.
No, of sex.
The build-up. What?
That's just a typical lady answer.
What?
It is.
Oh, okay. What's yours? Boobs? Cowgirl? You like to jackhammer? Just...
You're not gonna believe me, but it's about the after for me. It is.
No.
That moment after. You're laying there, two people, and it's like you're sharing a secret.
Allie and Owen discuss the best part of sex over a slice of pizza in the dystopian rom-com One Night Only. Bryan,
Yeah, man.
I did not watch the trailer going into this
thought
film.
you did.
I did not. I did not realize that this was the purge for sex.
Yes, it is.
What an insane premise.
Yeah.
My question to you is, could you get over the premise of this movie?
You know what? That was difficult. I'm not going to lie, because I get what they were trying to go for with. Okay, let's set this up so we can tell an interesting kind of romantic comedy. But within the conceit of this movie, it's hard. Like for me, if you start to really, really think about what is actually happening in this world that they've built,
yeah,
you start to pick it apart, and it just starts to fall
what
apart.
What a fascistic nightmare that I definitely could see happening in some way, maybe. But the premise is so dark. It indicates so much awful history to have happened to bring our characters to this point. This idea that the government has cracked down on premarital sex, has tagged people to monitor their sex.
Yeah, and people allow this.
And then, one night only, like The Purge, they're allowed to go at it like rabbits. Okay. And this is 3 years after this sanction has happened?
3 years after the mandate, which is still hard to wrap my head around, because it's just like 3 years and everybody in the country is accepting of this?
It's one thing if we are living in the future of Demolition Man and everything is be well and what's your boggle and pass the Taco Bell. But this is basically our America. And I just don't see this happening. I can see it happening, but if it were to happen, like a lot of
it wouldn't happen like this.
It wouldn't happen like this. And also, like the moment a sanction like this happens, you're going to have like this incredible black market. People are going to be finding ways to fake those tags. I want to see that movie. But this movie of like, will they, won't they, on the one night that they have to get down? I don't care. This is too dark to be fun.
Well, exactly, and that's the thing. But since it is a romantic comedy, we have to take a look at the romance and the comedy within this dystopian, dark world.
Sometimes you just have to accept the premise of the film.
Which is difficult to do, I will say that.
Okay. But we're doing it. We're doing it. We've now done it. We've accepted the premise.
To a degree.
Okay.
But, so we have Caleb Turner, and we have Monica Barbaro, Allie and Owen that she had just mentioned.
She's so good in this movie.
I like her a lot. I mean, ever since I saw her in Top Gun Maverick, I really enjoy seeing her. And we just saw her early this year in Crime 101. Really
she's great in that. I mean, to me, A Complete Unknown is where I really took notice. I mean, she's good in Top Gun Maverick, but she's barely a character in Top Gun
That's
Maverick.
true. That's true.
But as Joan Baez in the Bob Dylan biopic, fantastic, right?
Yeah.
And she's fantastic here.
Yeah, she carries this movie. I think the chemistry between the two. I mean, we could talk about Caleb Turner a little bit.
Okay.
We can talk about that.
We have to talk about the chemistry, right? Because in my opinion, there is none.
She probably carries the bulk of it.
She carries the movie. The movie would completely fall apart without her performance.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
Like, to be generous, he's fine. To be not so generous, he's a hunk of wood. All right.
This is a movie that you could conceivably tell the same story without having that in the background.
Like, if it was Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
Like, would it affect this film at all?
Yeah, would it affect these two people who are trying to find love this one night?
The premise of The Purge, but with sex, does create these sequences where, in the fringes of the frame, all these absurd things are happening on the streets of this city.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's kind of funny, but mostly it's weird and confusing.
Yeah, it is. It is. What's your rating for this?
I'm glad I saw it because I like a big swing, but I don't think it's successful. I think it is a B-. I don't think I can actually recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, this movie, like I said, if you can't get past the conceit of what this movie is actually about, it's too distracting to focus on the actual romance for me. Even though I do like the leads, specifically Monica Barbaro, I thought, like you were saying, it carries the movie, but it's not enough for me to really kind of invest in the romance of it. So yeah, it's a B- for me.
Caleb Turner, you're not James Bond.
No, please stop suggesting that he's going to be James Bond, because he's not. Yeah, no. All right, so when we return, we have another biopic. This one focusing in on a young Anthony Bourdain. Stay right there.
Every minute counts in a poison emergency. That's why Poison Help is standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in over 100 languages. Save Poison Help as a contact in your phone today. Call your local Poison Center at 1-800-222-1222.
1 roll hot, 1 catch fries, 2 sets, full.
You know I can cook too.
Excuse me?
Kid says he's a cook, chef.
Yeah, wonderful.
I'm not a cook. I'm a writer. I said I could cook.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't understand that. Shut the fuck up.
My dad's like one of the best chefs in New Jersey.
Oh, your dad? Why didn't you say so? Whatever.
A young Anthony Bourdain finds himself in the kitchen as a dishwasher during his summer away from home in the seasonal seaside town of Provence in this slice of life biopic of famed writer and chef Tony. Bryan,
Yeah.
I do like a biopic that takes a sliver of time. This is one summer in young Anthony Bourdain's life.
Yes.
You know, he's 19 years old.
Yeah.
He's basically run away from home. He doesn't know what he wants to do in life. I mean, he says he wants to be a writer, but does he have the talent? I think he definitely has the
Oh, yeah,
talent,
he has the talent.
but does he have the focus to be a writer?
Yeah,
right?
that's it. Yeah, you're right. The
Or
focus
is he
of it.
just chasing a girl across state lines? Right?
Yeah, which is another thing this movie kind of deals with. But you're right about the biopic aspect of it. I do like when we take a point in someone's life and instead of trying to do the cradle to the grave and really encompass their whole life, because then I think kind of most biopics can really fall apart.
Right.
But it focuses in on this one particular time. And when the movie comes up, there is a quote from Anthony Bourdain talking about this period in his life where he's like, oh, I was narcissistic, I was egotistical, depressed.
The quote is basically, I was a jerk.
Yeah.
And nobody liked me.
Yeah.
And then we get a whole movie about how he was a jerk and nobody likes him.
And nobody likes him. So yeah, so I found that to be interesting, but I do kind of like the way this movie kind of starts off to really see a little bit of his home life. And you kind of see where a lot of that originated in his family life with his mother. You know, you can see that there is a part of him that wants some type of validation from his mother that he's not getting from her, and how that kind of sets him off on this journey.
Yeah, it's interesting. You know, I think because it's Anthony Bourdain, you really want to watch him discover his love of food and cooking.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's the there's the Antonio Banderas character of chef who's running this little seafood restaurant on the beach.
Yeah.
And there are these brief moments where he's in the kitchen and he's watching them shuck clams. And also it's like this repulsive kitchen environment. Food and safety would not be happy with what's happening in this restaurant.
Not at all. Not at all.
And like he likes that juxtaposition of like extremely delicious food made in a grimy, disgusting environment. Like I think that sort of speaks to what we know of Anthony Bourdain, having read Kitchen Confidential or seen his many guest appearances on Top Chef and things like that.
Yeah.
But there's not enough of that falling in love with food in this movie.
Because that's how we come to know who Anthony Bourdain was. And it's like you want to see where that love of the kitchen, where that love of food combined with him as a very talented writer kind of like maybe kind of flourished and where he kind of came, you know, to that point. But you don't get any of that stuff here. And that's something I thought going into the movie, we were going to get a little bit more of.
To me, when you take a slice of time and make a whole biopic about it, like when you're trying to explain Anthony Bourdain based on this one summer when he was 19 years old, I don't think they ultimately do. Like, I don't think they shed a true light. I feel like they actually pick a wrong time, or if they picked the right time, they didn't focus on the things that I wanted them to focus on.
Yeah.
The movie ends with him going to the CIA, you know, the Culinary Institute of America, and starting his professional chef career. I almost feel like
That
that's
should be
the movie.
That's the movie, or at least this movie should be inspired, or you see what happens with his time in Provence, working in this kitchen, dealing with these people, the romance or the girl that he's chasing, how all that leads him to where we come to know him now. But I don't get any of that in this movie.
Matt Johnson, the filmmaker, somebody who's made some movies that I love, Blackberry and Nirvana the band, the movie, or Nirvana the band, the show, the movie. Like he has a great eye, and I think he would say that he has accomplished that with this film.
Yeah.
I just happen to disagree. Like you
Yes.
get the quote in the beginning of the movie, "Hey, I was a jerk," and then we
Yeah.
watch him. Hey, look at this guy be a jerk. It's a coming of age story. He's going to learn not to become a jerk. Actually, he's going to discover heroin in this film.
Yeah.
But that's a minor aspect of
That's-
this movie.
yeah.
Too minor of an aspect in this movie.
Yeah.
And he's going to regret some actions that he does at the climax of this film
Yeah.
and try to make up for it. But he doesn't stop becoming a jerk.
No, he doesn't.
And maybe he never stops becoming a jerk.
At least in the movie, he becomes less of a jerk.
I just feel like
but
the coming of age
to me, that's
isn't
not enough.
here.
No.
Like we don't quite get to the age.
No, we don't. What's your rating for this one?
I'm on the fence because I was never bored while watching this movie. I was maybe a little frustrated with what I was seeing and how I was seeing it.
Yeah.
But I was compelled, like I think the rest of that audience was.
Okay.
So I'm going to tip B+. I did like it. I am compelled to learn more about Anthony Bourdain as a result of watching Tony. So it was worth it. I think I'd recommend it, especially if you are curious about Anthony Bourdain.
Yeah, I'm kind of the opposite way because, like you were saying, I'm not as familiar with Anthony Bourdain. Of course, I know the name, and I've come to know him because I've seen the clips of him when he was with Barack Obama. He's in pop culture and stuff like that. So I wanted to see a little bit more to kind of get a better understanding. But like you said, there's not much here to really tell me more about the man that he becomes.
Fair, yeah.
And it's just, like you're saying. So
I think we feel the same way about this movie.
Yeah, it's just
you're just tipping this way and I'm tipping that way.
Yeah, so unfortunately it's a B- for me. So yeah, those are our thoughts on Tony. So when we return, we take a look at a new suburban dinosaur movie. How does that match? We'll let you know. Stay right there.
I only had a 29% chance to find a blood stem cell donor, but then we matched. Dear donor, we beat leukemia. Thank you forever and ever.
Save a life at nmdp.org.
Greg rushes to save his wife Denise from a raging dinosaur in the Spielberg-inspired monster movie, The End of Oak Street. Brad, okay.
Brian.
Yeah, so let's talk about this movie real quick.
All right. Dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs, man.
Love them.
Love them. Suburbia, 1980s.
That's where I grew up.
I remember that time. I used to wear those knee-high socks. So this is David Robert Mitchell, who directed It Follows and Under the Silver Lake.
Yeah, one of those movies I like.
One of the movies are good. This is my first experience. I know of his filmography. This is my first experience
watching. You should watch It Follows,
I know,
Brian.
man.
It is so good.
I know. Everybody says it's great, so I need to check that one out. I have it on digital, of course.
Yeah. Let's not talk about your digital library of all these movies you own and don't watch.
I know. It's insane.
All right, back
to the movie. So now he's making this dinosaur movie. J.J. Abrams is producing.
Sure.
We all know J.J. Abrams, how secretive he likes to be. I mean, this secretly probably could have been something like a Cloverfield type movie. But it feels like he really wants to kind of do something within that genre.
I wish we walked into this movie knowing that something science fiction was going to happen, but we didn't know exactly what.
Yeah.
I wish the trailers didn't say, like, there's T-Rexes and things in this.
This movie would have worked a lot better.
It would have been a fun surprise, like, oh, man, this whole neighborhood's been teleported back to prehistoric time.
I know.
Whoa, let's go. And there is a little bit of excitement with that.
Yeah.
But for me, ultimately, the budget just doesn't have. The budget's just not there to tell this story properly.
You could feel the budget constraints, and my biggest thing, and I think we both kind of noticed this as we were watching the movie in the screening, where the movie opens up with this neighborhood block party, which I really like that scene because to me, you know, as a film goer, you understand storytelling. So it's like, okay, we're going to show you all these people. We're going to show you the dynamics and the relationships between all these characters. So when everything hits the fan and the dinosaurs come in, then, you know, we're going to be able to populate this neighborhood with all these different characters and see, you know, how they maybe turn on each other or come together. The dinosaurs come. And we focus in just on Ewan McGregor and his family.
Where is this neighborhood? Like, it's not just like one street. It's not just Oak Street that has teleported back to prehistoric era. It's this entire neighborhood. Hundreds of houses. Each house represents a family. Let's say there's just 3 people per house. That's hundreds of people. Where are these people in this movie?
Exactly. No, I agree. And we see at points different families, but when we get into the crux of the story where we're really going in with the dinosaurs and, you know, how it's affecting Ewan McGregor, we just focus in, and then you'll see characters pop in and out. But it's like you were saying, when you look at zombie movies, and you see how zombie movies are not really about the zombies. They're about the people and how it affects human nature, how people could turn on each other, or because of subvert that, or and see how they come together.
You know, you mentioned that this film is inspired by Spielberg. You know, obviously Jurassic Park, but also E.T., right? Like this is a family in crisis, and then this extraordinary thing happens, and it's going to test this family in crisis. And that all happens within the end of Oak Street. I think poorly, ultimately. But you can't just focus on them when you have supposedly this entire neighborhood. And you did have that block party. Why aren't we seeing more scenes with those bullies on bikes? Like, they come up for a brief moment. The jerk neighbor next door who's arguing about the dog burrowing under the fence, he comes back very briefly, but not to comment on the antagonism between the 2 families.
Exactly.
Like, the movie to me is baffling, and I think it's because they spent all their money on digital dinosaurs and no money on supporting actors.
The frustrating thing about this movie is that they bring up so many interesting concepts and ideas just within the emotional story of the family. Like, even at that block party, you hear one of the neighbors talk to Ewan McGregor and say, man, it's like, you're a lucky guy. Look at your family. You got a great marriage. And then you find out more about what's actually happening within the foundation of this family.
Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway are basically Seth Rogen and Olivia Wilde from The Invite if a pterodactyl crashed into that dinner party, right? And, you know, I think there's a lot of potential there. For me, it just didn't live up to that potential. I will say that the audience we saw it with,
they had a ball.
They had a great time. There was a lot of gasps and shrieks and applause. There's a dog in this movie. This dog gets a huge round of applause from the crowd.
He does.
So I think there are some popcorn elements that are effective. But again, I just was watching this movie going, I don't get it.
I don't get it either. And I mean, there's a moment in this movie that really you feel the stakes, and they do something extremely, I'm not going to say what it is. They do something extremely surprising. And I was like, oh, y'all went there. But again, like you just said before we got on air, they walk it back, and it's just like, oh, and that's another frustrating part about it too, because now you're taking the stakes away and you don't feel that.
Not only do they walk it back with that one character, they walk it back with a bunch of characters, with characters that other character would never walk back on. I can't spoil it.
No, it's just.
But decisions are made at the end of this movie that I don't think these characters ever would have made.
It's dumbfounded to me. I didn't like this movie at all. What's your rating for this?
I also really disliked this film. I give it a big B-. Just watch E.T. and Jurassic Park.
Yeah, please do. I wouldn't say the worst movie of the year, but definitely not a good movie. Not a movie I enjoyed, and one that I definitely cannot recommend. So it's a B- for me. So yeah. All right, guys. So those were our thoughts on the end of Oak Street. Let's go ahead and look back at the movies we reviewed on this episode. We started with The Invite. We gave that a B+ for me and Brad. Then we move over to One Night Only. That was a B- for both of us. Then we move over to Tony. We split on that movie. Brad gave that a B+. I gave that one a B-. And then The End of Oak Street, that is a B- for both of us. All right.
The Invite is the movie you gotta watch.
The Invite, that's the one you gotta watch. Check that one out. Everything else, no. Thank you for joining us on this latest episode of B&B Movie Reviews. Come be a part of the conversation. If you have questions, suggestions, feel free to email us at bnbmoviereviews@gmail.com. And with that, we will see you at the movies.